Within the Protestant churches, particularly those located in the modern urban centers, younger ministers seem to appreciate the work of Altizer, though they seldom subscribe totally to any radical theological point of view. Any acceptance of a doctrine like Altizer's will meet resistance.
In my opinion, Tom Altizer and the other radical theologians are exceedingly important to the life of the church in our time. They are saying some things which you and I as Christians ought to pay heed to in a very real way. Tom Altizer, of course, is a dialectical theologian. This means that his language is not always easily understandable as far as laymen and many ministers are concerned. There's been much misunderstanding at this point. Tom will say in one sentence, God is alive. In the next sentence, he will say his famous God is dead statement. We've got to come to grips with what he means by this. I think that the two most important things as far as contributions that Tom can make to the life of the church today is when he is saying to us that Jesus Christ has come into the world in which we live, that he is no longer to be understood as having returned to the right hand of God, but that he is alive, working, moving, acting in our common ordinary days. This means that when you and I as Christians come to the point where we run into barriers and problems in life, we no longer stop and look upward and pray to a God out there somewhere, but that we must plunge on into these barriers and perplexities, expecting in faith to meet Jesus Christ in them. There is also here a note of tremendous optimism. This note of optimism is something that many of us do not realize has been lacking in theology of the modern era, but it definitely has. We've passed through a dark period. Now come these who are saying to us something quite different.
Radical theology is discussed in the liberal church as well as the fundamentalist. At Atlanta's new Unitarian Universalist Church, conversation is served after service along with the coffee.
And this may have the effect of maybe a dialogue within the liberal church as well, in terms of our relationship to the real question, the significance of God.
I think it's made many of us come to the point of defining what we mean by God. And to me, as a liberal, God is the universal law. You might as well say gravity's dead. I mean, this doesn't shake me at all. It is that mysterious thing that makes people and things grow.
It doesn't have the shaking effect that it would to the Orthodox Church, right? But we at least have to come to grips as well in our own concept, because the concept of God has to be meaningful, or the absence of God has to be meaningful.
And this is precisely what I'm attempting to say. Namely, that the Christian now can only exist in faith, can only exist in Christ, insofar as he confesses that God is dead. Insofar as he confesses that the transcendent Lord of the Christian tradition is no longer real, is no longer manifest, is no longer present. Only by that way does the Christian today have a way to the Christ who is totally present here and now, in our body, in our life, in our flesh.
There is no conclusion to this piece. The exchange continues from all sides. Thomas Altizer has opened a Pandora's box, and no one can close it up again. For better or worse, depending upon your point of view, phrases like God is dead, Christian atheism, and radical theology have become a part of our language, culture, and public concern. Communication between the world of theology and the world of the secular has begun. And as each probes for better understanding of the other, these worlds are bound to change.